This is CBS.
Hello?
Who's that, honey?
It's TCF. They want to know what to give people over 50.
Tell them free checking with interest. Free checks. Credit card protection. Maybe travel discounts and travel insurance.
Did you get all that?
And a Harley. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
They'll go for everything but the motorcycle.
Club 50 from TCF. Banking the way you want it.
From WCCO Television, this is a special World Series edition of the 10 o'clock news on Channel 4.
The banner headline from the World Series tonight in Atlanta is Lenty Serves Justice.
And Chili Davis did cool off the Braves' hot young gun, tying the game in the 8th with a 2-run homer.
And back at the Dome, Twins fans keep the heat on. And the Yankees waiting 1,100 miles away. Hello, everybody. Good morning to you. And welcome to Atlanta, Georgia, where a very, very tough World Series game has just been concluded. And you can hear, if you can hear us, you can hear the Atlanta fans.
There's an excited crowd here tonight. I don't think going into this. In the last couple innings, I'm not sure they expected to go home winners tonight. And it was a very pleasant surprise for them.
Well, not only a pleasant surprise for them, this was a great baseball game, whether you're pulling for the Twins or you're pulling for the Atlanta Braves. Tom Kelly, Monty Cox pulled out all the stops tonight and played baseball the way it should be played, in and out of doors on a beautiful night.
It was a beautiful game. It was a long game, and I think Tom Kelly was running out of options there toward the end. And
running out of players.
Exactly. The Braves pulled through. Well, tonight we're going to hear from the fans, if you haven't already, here in Atlanta. We'll also hear from fans in Minnesota. Esme Murphy is here with us in Atlanta. She'll be talking to Braves fans as they calmly file out of the stadium tonight. We're also going to hear from Amy Marcellus, who's at the Metrodome with thousands of Twins fans watch the game on TV. And we're going to hear from Brad Good, who's in our fan center, and he will tell us what callers are saying there tonight.
I didn't hear you. We're going to go right now into a quieter place, that is inside where the baseball game was played, and Mark Rosen is standing by. Mark, help us out.
You're right, Don. I think the fans who are still here are sort of in stunned ecstasy right now of what happened over the past 4 hours here at the stadium. You know, no team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. The Atlanta Braves did everything they could to make sure they stuck their heads in there and made sure they came back tomorrow night with an opportunity not only to win another game, but to go back to Minnesota. As you mentioned, Tom Kelly had run out of options. He had no one left on his bench except Kevin Tapani and Jack Morris, who is starting later tonight in Game 4. You know, the Braves, as we try to recap this game here, did not hit a home run in the first 2 games of the series at the Metrodome. But tonight, at their beloved launching pad, they managed to hit a couple early. Dave Justice hit one on a 3-1 pitch, and he did so with a lot of smoke. And Scott Erickson fell behind in the count early and often in this game, lasted just 4 1/3 innings through 87 pitches. Now, the king of the hill early was Steve Avery, the man who had thrown over 16 consecutive shutout innings in the postseason. And he retired 15 straight after a misplayed ball in the first inning of tonight's game. Avery struck out 5 and was in complete control in the middle innings. But when Atlanta was at the plate for a long time in the 5th, Avery seemed to stiffen. He came out in the 6th inning. The Twins hit some shots off him. The Twins then got to him enough to at least send the message that he is hittable. Avery would come back in Game 6 if necessary on Saturday night. Now, the Golden Glove or not so Golden Glove, after Lonnie Smith hit a home run off Erickson to take a 3-1 lead for Atlanta in the 5th inning, Erickson was just about to get out of the inning, and then this is what happened. Dave Justice hit a routine grounder to Chuck Knobloch, who fielded it cleanly but just could not get it out of his glove. The error led to a 4th Atlanta run and what looked like a safe 4-1 lead. But you know what happened? Kirby Puckett hit a home run to make it 4-2. That was, in fact, his first hit of the series. No DH for Chili Davis, but PH, as in pinch hitter. Our home plate special tonight, courtesy of Chili Davis, who had a pinch hit 2-run home run in the 8th inning of Alejandro Pena. Davis was 3 for 10 off Pena when he was in the National League, and this made it 4-4. Greg Olson, remember this play. Greg Olson made a defensive gem behind the home plate to save a run on a potential wild pitch. and the tomahawk chop was more like a pin drop in here at that point. But it was 4-4. It looked like we were going to be here till, maybe early in the morning, like tomorrow morning. But as we all saw, Mark Lemke, who made an error in the top of the 12th inning, did it with this hit off of Rick Aguilera. Hot Atlanta did it tonight, coming through. Dave Justice scores just ahead of the throw and the tag by Brian Harper, and that signaled the end of the Minnesota Twins tonight. Rick Aguilera had an opportunity to win the game, and this put the Twins ahead earlier in the top of the 12th inning. Aguilera, perhaps the best hitting pitcher of any of them on either staff, hit a line shot to the center fielder, but that was as close as the Twins would come. And now it's just a matter of regrouping and getting ready to give the ball to Jack Morris, probably for a long time tonight, because of all the players and the staff the Twins used tonight. What a ball game. Take a deep breath, because we'll be back here again a little bit later, and certainly with another ball game later tonight. Don and Colleen, a little wilder out there. We'll have more interviews here from some of the Twin players a bit later.
Okay, thank you very much, Mark. And as you can tell, inside tonight, there was a lot of this activity that you hear here. For the better part of the evening, though, the crowd was not as loud as the crowds we've grown used to in the Dome, but it grew through the evening, especially at certain points.
Now, this may sound a little like sour grapes because we lost the game finally, but I noticed that, too. There really didn't seem to be the lung power, I guess, in Atlanta that we were all led to believe we were going to find here, that we were going to get blown out.
But, of course, at the same time, this place does not have a roof, so all that sound was going straight up toward that full moon we had tonight, not reflecting back down on the field. But despite the protest against the tomahawk chop, which we have certainly heard a great deal about, that the Indian movement has put together, you can still see inside this place thousands and thousands of fans armed with these styrofoam tomahawks doing the tomahawk chop. But tonight, the forces who opposed the tomahawk chop and anything like it got a little boost from someone with a very special name in this community. That is because Coretta Scott King, the widow of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, lent her name to the outcry against the use of the tomahawk chop. She has, in fact, requested the baseball team and all teams that use the name of the American Indians to cease and desist. Although she says she is still pulling for the Atlanta Braves to win this World Series.
You know, even though tonight's game was many hundred miles away from home, the Metrodome was open tonight, as you all well know, and thousands of people watched the game there. Amy Marcellus joined them, and Amy, what was it like to see this game at home?
Well, Colleen, there was a pretty good crowd here earlier. As you can see down in the field, everyone has left the Dome except for people cleaning up, getting ready for the Gopher game Friday. You've got a football configuration on the field tonight. Kind of a strange feeling being in here without any players. But they drew 19 to 20,000 people at one point during the evening. The lower deck was full because these people knew this was one night when they had the best choice of seats in the house for free. Walking down the concourse gave you the feeling this was a home game. It looked like it, sounded like it.
Okay.
But there were no players on the field. In fact, it's set up for a Gopher game coming up Friday. This was a free event for Twins lovers who thought it would be more fun to see the game from this vantage point instead of the one from the couch.
Why you gotta hear all this yelling to get enthused about it?
Twins all the way! We won't sleep here, but I slept through part of the first game, and so I don't want to do it anymore.
There's more spirit here.
You can get into it more here. Everybody can be hollering and cheering at the same time, and I don't feel so foolish doing it at home on the couch.
We have 25 people coming. It's going to be the night of our lives.
It was confusing at times, like having the Vikings cheerleaders rooting for the Twins, but the enthusiasm was contagious. They warmed up the crowd before the first pitch, and then the fans raised their voices to a fever pitch when Gladden made a memorable hit. Of course, then the fans were up and down, their emotions up and down throughout the rest of the evening, and they left here rather quietly as soon as the game wound up just a few minutes ago. Now, Mike Walsher was in here with me earlier in the evening. He has since ventured out to get another fan's perspective on the game. Mike, what did you find?
Well, Amy, we set out tonight to try to find some fans who were trying to find other things to do besides watch or listen to the game. But many people found it tough to escape this exciting World Series. A football game ended tonight with 12-year-old players not knowing who is ahead in that other game. But some of their parents couldn't resist splitting their attention between the play here and the play-by-play from Atlanta.
It's hard. It's really hard. But I got to do a little of both. Because I got a boy that's out here playing now.
At this place, bearing the name of a local sportscaster, diners had trouble eating once the game began. And some brought the whole family.
Actually, we're here on business. We're from Dallas, but we're a Minnesota Twins fan anyway.
At a non-alcohol night spot in St. Anthony, members of the ex-Winos Motorcycle Club held a meeting this evening. And some didn't know what this baseball game was all about.
How many goals they got? One more. Oh, basket.
Well, perhaps that gentleman will start watching the games a bit more closely. Certainly can't find a more exciting game than what we saw this evening, even though the outcome is not what Twins fans wanted. Brad Good has been monitoring fan reaction via the fan phone in the CCO studio this evening. Brad, what are fans calling in to talk about?
Well, Mike, as usual, the fan phone has been ringing off the hook again tonight, but we're getting much different calls than we did during Game 1 and Game 2. Tonight, fans aren't talking about their favorite players or play of the game. Minnesota fans are outraged by the behavior of the Braves fans, and they're voicing it.
I think it's pretty poor about the Atlanta fans booing our lineup at the beginning of the game. The Minnesota fans did not do that.
Whatever happened to Southern hospitality and manners?
I think they're really showing a lot of bad team spirit, and especially in regards to the Twins. I mean, they boo them when they come out.
Not only are the fans upset with the Braves fans, many have called fan phone tonight to complain about the network announcers. And many of you said those calling the game are favoring the Braves and are Twins bashing, yet we talked to some Atlanta people tonight, and they're saying just the opposite. They're saying that the announcers are calling in favor of the Twins. Of course, many of you fans were upset tonight when the Twins were down 4-1, and you all had some advice for Coach Kelly.
That I think Tom Kelly made a big mistake by leaving Scott Erickson in for so long, because I really think that didn't screw everything up.
I think Tom Kelly messed up by leaving Erickson in all those endings.
I would like to say something to the Twins. I know we're going to win the World Series, and if we don't, I'll still be very proud of the Twins.
That's the spirit, I guess. Now, later on during our sports special, we'll hear some reaction to the billboard violence that occurred in Atlanta today, as many of you are aware of, and what some think about the threats made to Kent Herbeck. So it sounds like an ugly spirit to some degree of competition is brewing in this series between North and South. And if you have a comment, we are still taking your calls. Call our fan phone at 330-2764. Be sure to give us some more calls. Let's go back now to Don and Colleen at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. My question is, have you guys been booed yet tonight?
Oh, once or twice.
Every time we stood up and cheered Kent Herbeck, you could hear the boos around our section. Yeah, those people keeping score at home of the fan watch, Charlie Sheen just stopped by, and you could tell who he was for. He was wearing a Cincinnati Redlegs hat and carrying a tomahawk, so we've got that figured out.
No big mystery there. Well, while we're in Atlanta, we wanted to show you not only the baseball game, but the sights and sounds of the city as well. And tonight, the sight was spectacular. Everyone in Atlanta was urged to turn on their lights tonight for a show of support for the Braves. The skyline was glowing. A beautiful scene here tonight in Atlanta, if not a beautiful ending.
A loud ending.
Yeah.
Maybe we can quiet it down tomorrow night, but then we don't want to be homers either, do we? Well, maybe we do. There's still more to come yet on this World Series edition of the late edition of the 10 o'clock news. Coming up, we're going to tell you about how today was memorialized, the second anniversary of the disappearance of Jacob Wetterling.
And ahead, the welcome home for an American hostage held since 1987 in Lebanon.
And after the news, a sports special that includes a story on why watching baseball can make you smarter.
But first, here are the Go for 5 lottery numbers for tonight.
You're watching a special World Series edition of the 10 o'clock news on Channel 4.
For a limited time, the answer is
yes, definite.
definitely yes.
Because it's Hyundai. Yes, Hyundai clearance time. With big rebates on every new XL in stock.
Can I use the rebate for my down payment? Yes, ma'am.
Take my trade-in, too?
Yes, sir. How about a bumper-to-bumper warranty? Oh, yes.
And a free VCR?
No way. What about the price? Who could say no to this?
XL is reliable, economical, and about $6,000. Take a test drive at your Hyundai dealer now.
It's Hyundai clearance time.
So is it a smart time to buy?
Yes.
There is a place where luxury and affordability collide in the most comfortable way. A place called Acapulco, where fantasy becomes reality 24 hours a day. Acapulco, the difference is night and day. Here's a chance to remember the Minnesota Twins' 1991 championship season by collecting the Playmakers. The Playmakers are 14 special edition commemorative cards designed by Minnesota illustrator Mark Herman. These cards are a limited edition collector series and will be available for $2 each at all TCF locations, including TCF at Cub Foods. So don't be left out of the Twins championship season. Pick up your limited edition sports prints today.
Have you ever wondered what happens to your children when you drop them off for child care?
Bye, Mom and Dad.
I'll bet she's having a great time.
I wonder if she'll be okay.
Join today's WCCO television for an inside look at child care. Beginning Sunday in Dimension, we'll show you how 3 different child care services can work for families today. Join us for an inside look at child care in the 90s. Sunday at 10 on Channel 4.
Plays in the background, and with just about as happy an ending tonight for the Minnesota Twins as for Scarlett.
Not too
happy. There's always, as she says, tomorrow, I think, isn't there?
Tomorrow is another day. All right. Well, we're going to have more from here on Game 3 of the World Series, but first we're going to go back to the Twin Cities with Cindy Hilger standing by with the rest of today's news.
You know, keep in mind, you guys, that the sequels are gone with the wind, and I think that does have a happy ending. Well, the date, October 22nd, makes it 2 years to the day Jacob Wetterling was abducted from his St. Joseph neighborhood. Jacob's abduction and the hope of his eventual homecoming was on the minds of people at North Junior High School in St. Cloud. Among them were Jacob's mother and father. Tonight's vigil was expressing hope for Jacob's return and for a future when children will no longer be at risk. And we have a follow-up to the double murder in Brooklyn Center we told you about late last week. 33-year-old Stephen Andrew Hodgson is now charged with the stabbing death of Raymond Rice and his grandson, Aaron. Hodgson is the former boyfriend of Raymond Rice's daughter. And police in Brainerd tonight have arrested a suspect in the arson fire that destroyed a building in downtown Brainerd yesterday, doing $1 million worth of damage and burning 30 people out of their apartments. The Brainerd police aren't saying any more about the man or what his motive might have been. In Oakland, California, the brush fires are now reduced to a few isolated hot spots. And as the smoke clears, the loss of life and property gets worse. We now know of 16 deaths, 25 people are still missing, and 1,800 houses are in ruins. The fire also got to an $18 million collection of California paintings, all of them uninsured, and turned it to ashes. Jesse Turner got a warm welcome at the U.S. Military Hospital in Wiesbaden, Germany today, the next way station on his way home from captivity. Turner will be tested in Germany to see how his mind and body have held together during 5 years of captivity. Mind and body should get restorative tomorrow when Turner sees the daughter born 4 years ago while he was held hostage. It'll be his first chance to get to know, just to meet his daughter, which is going to be quite a story tomorrow. For now, though, we're going to go back to Atlanta. Don and Colleen, enjoy yourselves?
Oh, we are, Cindy. We are, you know. And Don, you just arrived today. I bet you were kind of surprised when you got here to find out how warm it is.
Well, actually, I thought it was kind of not so warm. I expected it to be a little warmer than this.
Why is that?
Well, because, you know, you live in the North Country and you come down to the South, you expect all that to be. Expect it to be warmer down here than it is back home.
You know, as a matter of fact, I was surprised today. We were driving around looking for peach trees earlier today. We did see a lot of folks wearing jackets and sweaters and that sort of thing. And so it's, actually, I think it was cooler here than it was in the Twin Cities, I heard.
It was 4 degrees cooler, I think, here, right?
I've been reminding
people. I think it was 76 degrees in the Twin Cities today. It was 71 here. That's 5 degrees difference.
What they're expecting up there. We're going to toss it to you, Mike.
Here it goes. Mike, are you ready to catch this?
I'm ready.
Okay, it's going to be a lob kind of deal. Okay, ready? There you go. Right.
Boy, that thing really hung up there in that night air, didn't it? Well, anyway, yeah, we were 76 degrees here in the Twin Cities today, only 71 in Atlanta. At least we beat them with the temperature, right? Well, anyway, starting out in the morning, we should have another great day here in the Twin Cities. A little bit cooler because we're going to have a cool front move through us. In fact, it may have just moved through us in the last hour. Mostly clear in the morning, but a temperature of right around 50 degrees. Today, though, nobody was complaining. Our story of the day happened to be the gorgeous, bright sunshine that we had, and another Indian summer day allowed people to get outside and enjoy it. And some people taking it easy. Well, a lot of people taking it easy. I guess the biking even got too much for this fellow. A little bit of a breeze out there, but it was nice in the Twin Cities today, that's for sure. We did have 76 degrees, as we said, 45 for the overnight low, and no precipitation at all here in the Twin Cities. There's the possibility of some rain down in Atlanta, though. We'll show you that here in just a second. Our current conditions outside right now, we're clear and 61. I don't know what it is in Atlanta. Should have checked that for you. They must be right around 61 degrees also. Winds right now out of the northwest at 14. They've just switched around in the last hour here in the Twin Cities, ushering in some slightly cooler air for tomorrow. And as they start out, Game 4 weather tomorrow, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of rain. Temperatures in the 60s with southeast winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll see what that does as that rain shower activity develops down over the southeastern part of the U.S. tomorrow. For us, well, we had some clouds that stayed to the north most of the day today, leaving us with bright sunshine here to the south. These clouds are continuing to slowly advance toward us, but it looks like they're going to stay mostly to the north. Sometime later in the day, we should see an increase in cloud cover, but for the most part, we'll start out at least with some sunshine. Temperatures outside right now, you can see the cooler air up to the north and northwest, only in the 30s, but warming through the 40s, 50s, and we still have a couple of 60s. Well, Eau Claire is 60 degrees, Madison is still 62 degrees. It's this colder air that's slowly working in our direction. Here's what we're talking about, some scattered showers, mainly down in the southeastern part of the country. High pressure off the southeast coast is going to continue to pump some Gulf moisture up into the southeast. That could begin to develop some showers in the Atlanta area sometime tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. For us, the cold front's just about on top of us. Another low pressure area developing out here. And over the weekend, we're going to have enough cold air working in behind us that we'll probably begin to get enough cold air in for some showers in the form of some snow mixed in with the rain. In the meantime, high temperatures tomorrow in the 60s here in the Twin Cities. Here's what the forecasts look like. Mostly clear and mild overnight tonight, 48 for a low with northwest winds at 5 to 15. Tomorrow, we'll see partly cloudy skies, a little cooler, 65. That's down about 10 from what we were today with northeast to east winds at 10 to 20. Tomorrow night, turning cloudy with a chance of showers late. We're talking sometime around midnight, 48 degrees for a low. And then for Thursday, mostly cloudy with a good chance of showers. We could even see some isolated thunderstorms across southern Minnesota with a high temperature of 58 degrees. The extended outlook, Friday and Saturday, chance of some showers, temperatures cooling down. It's going to be quite a change for people coming up here from Atlanta after seeing temperatures in the 70s down there, only coming into the 40s here. Now, are you guys ready for this? I don't know if we're going to have a rain delay there tomorrow night, but we're going to pitch it back to you and we'll see how you do on this, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice heave. That's a good peg, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Better than mine. Mine was kind of a curveball. Joke.
Isn't this fun?
Yeah, this is. This is fun.
We kind of get to be the silly in the middle of the night people.
This is about 15 minutes past midnight now.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Well, coming up, we're going to check some of tonight's other sports news. That includes the Timberwolves and the Minnesota North Stars when we return.
Your Dodge dealer has a special factory shipment of Dakota 4x4 club cabs in stock now. With our powerful new Magnum V8, these trucks have more power, more towing, and more payload than any Ford, Chevy, or import compact 4x4 club cab. But hurry. With $750 cash back, our selection of Dakota club cabs won't last long. See your neighborhood Dodge dealer today. Rediscover American value.
You'll find big savings for your home improvements at Menards. Replace your old kitchen sink with a new stainless steel sink by Banner. They're on sale now starting at just $19.99 after mail-in rebate coupon. And save on Glidden spread wall latex flat paint. It's easy to apply and dries to a washable velvet finish. On sale now for only $6.88 a gallon. Shop Menards for the best home improvement ideas.
Save big money at Menards.
People say Ember's steak and eggs platter is the best they've ever had. 2 farm fresh eggs, 3 buttermilk pancakes, hash brown potatoes, and a USDA choice sirloin steak. Only $3.99. There's only one place for food this good. Ember's. Only Ember's.
Coming up on the 10 o'clock news, Ralph John Fritz and the sports. Sponsored by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car.
Recently, lead soprano Irene Lee of the Tullahoma, Tennessee Chorus demonstrated how easy it is to lay your hands on a Saturn.
And it is time now to cover some of the day's other sports stories. Yes, there were some others today, but before we do, a reminder to stay tuned for our series special featuring more highlights. We'll have some player reaction from Atlanta, fan reaction to the threats Kent Herbeck received in our fan phone segment, and proof that watching baseball makes you smarter. That's coming up next on our series special. Well, 10,000 people showed up at the Met Center for the Stars game tonight, but their attention often diverted to that World Series. Speaking of diversions, Darian Hatcher caused the stir, taking on Calgary's tough guy, Strangler Stern. Welcome to the NHL, rookie. Well, on the prettier side of the sport, watch Joel Otto, a little dipsy doodle. The Twins must have inspired him. The Elk River native scored twice tonight as the Flames beat the North Stars. That final score was 4-2. Chicago and Pittsburgh skating to a 4-all tie. A couple of other games in the NHL. New Jersey's a winner 5-2. Winnipeg and the Islanders 1-1. Quite a few empty seats at the Target Center tonight. A Timberwolves exhibition isn't really much competition for the series, even when it's Willie Burton's homecoming. The former Gopher got a little extra playing time tonight, scored a few extra points, 23 to be exact, as Miami beat the Wolves 112-101. The Wolves' new running style did give the diehards a few thrills. Second-round pick Myron Brown looks pretty good on the end of the Wolves' break. Still, they lost that preseason game by 11. A busy night for Minnesota sports fans across the state. This also marks the first round of high school football playoffs. Burnsville, like the Twins, feature some playoff gamers like their quarterback. Bob Keeney scored 3 touchdowns, rushed for 161 yards as the Braves eliminated Edina 41-19 in Section 6AA. Now, later on, we'll have much more, including highlights from Moundsville, Irondale, Henry Sibley, White Bear Lake, Hutchinson, Sibley East, and much more on our Prep Sports Report. That's coming up at the end of the series. And right now, we're going to toss it back to Don and Colleen in Atlanta. I guess the ball's still in your court. Plus, I have a bad wing. I can't throw it quite that far.
Well, you could always try, Ralph. Everybody else has tonight. Thanks. Well, coming up next, we're going to have a WCCO Sports Special.
And we're going to have some more information about